Good evening. This is Bill from Europa, Naples, and today I've got a little bit of a treat. This is a 1966 Bentley T1 Sedan. You know, they didn't build too many of these things. I think about 1,700 of them in the space between 1965 and 1980. About as many Camrys as they pump out in an hour. That said, this is something a little more special than a Camry. The Bentley was made for people who didn't want to be, particularly ostentatious like they might be with a Rolls-Royce. This is, perhaps a more reserved car, even though it's essentially identical. It also has a little bit of a sporty feel with that air dam on the bottom, so maybe hearkening back to Bentley's performance roots. And it brings to mind sort of the things that we know about Britain, which are, the Spice Girls and, the Spice Girls. Kippers and the Spice Girls. And boots and bonnets and naughty chambermaids and, that sort of thing. You can see the car is black outside. It's tan inside. A very nice color combination for an old Bentley. Very, very attractive all around. This is certainly what I would call a driver quality. It's a very old paint job on the car. Don't think it's original, but it's certainly very old. And, shows a few flaws here and there, some scratches, some bubbling. But all in all, pretty nice and very solid underneath as well. And it only leaks a little bit, certainly not a lot. I defy you to find a 1966 model British car that doesn't. And of course, most of them have turned to powder by now. Anyway, let's start inside the trunk. I love that Bentley logo. Here you can see it's cavernous. It's enormous. I'm thinking of as many British descriptive terms as I can. It's huge. I mean, this is the biggest ass trunk that I've ever seen. You could fit just about anything you could conceive of in here, short of, oh God, I don't know. I just don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, very big trunk. You see you've got a toolkit over there, a place for the battery. Things are nice and proper and original, nice carpeting in there. You're going to be able to, if you go out to the store, you're going to fit just about anything you want in that trunk. And close it with a resounding thud. All right, let's have a, why is the glove box open? I've got my camera in there. I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so as you can see from that little sneak preview, this is a right-hand side drive car. And that's another thing I'd like to speak with the British about. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, can we not get ourselves together enough to get the steering wheel on the same side for, different... Why do we have to have right-hand drive cars? Or, oh, God, I don't know. They probably say the correct side. Doesn't matter. Look under here. This is a 6.2 liter V8. It's absolutely enormous. It's got pipes and tubes and hoses running everywhere. Look at the intake on this thing. Looks like a couple of SU carbs up there. This looks like it probably was the original intake on an old Spitfire. Surprisingly, it runs really well. It's very, very smooth. Plenty of juice, plenty of power. What looks like an AC compressor there isn't. That's a big generator, alternator type thing. It is a 12-volt system, which is nice. And everything just lovely under the hood. Very original, very proper. You've got incredible padding there to keep the noise down. You've got this ridiculous-looking expansion tank from the radiator that somehow manages to keep all the water inside. And everything just lovely. Jesus. All right, have a look at this. Look at that flying bee emblem. How cool is that? So instead of the flying lady, which is, looks like she's naked to me half the time, you've got a bee there, which is just a little bit more reserved. Beautiful, incredible chrome work up front. I mean, the first 4 inches of this car are just absolutely stunning. I could just sit there and look at them for hours. Love the big driving lights, the original thing, again, harkening to Bentley's sporty heritage, the beautiful chrome and bright work in the grille. It's just absolutely lovely front end on this car. The B logo and the headlights. It's also, of course, identical to a Rolls-Royce at the same year, but it's not a Rolls-Royce, it's a Bentley. All right, and look at the lovely wheel covers, Bentley logo again. It's got some white walls on there, which look pretty good. Beautiful chrome strips down the side, lovely chrome surrounds of the windows, down the center of the hood, the wipers. They were not ashamed or afraid to use chrome in this car. I'm sure it's what would have brought Harold Wilson to Parliament, in 1966, although, I don't know, maybe he was more a man of the people. Anyway, back here you can see the leather is in exceptional condition. I have a hard time believing that's original, but God, it sure looks like it could be. That said, it smells the way it looks, which is phenomenal. You could bottle that smell, you'd make a fortune. You've got these lovely burl wood trays back here in great shape. Look how nice they are. All the wood in this car is just fantastic. You got some ashtrays there because this was a civilized time when people smoked. Very, very nice. The door chrome and wood and leather and lovely. You've got little cigarette lighters there for, you know, again, people smoking. All kinds of indecipherable handles. Power windows. Carpet looks nice. Very, very nice place to be in the back of this Bentley. Here's the... I keep wanting to get in and drive from this side. God, it bothers me. Anyway, I lived in Ireland for a few years. I drove right-hand drive cars. I was always putting them up on the curbs, you know. I wanted to be over to the left as I was going down the road. But eventually, I guess I got used to it. But you can see, again, the condition, very nice in here, very proper. I'm sure that JVC radio is an original, but doesn't matter because it really doesn't work anyway. You can see, again, all the chrome, the knobs, leather on the dash, wood on the dash. Everything looks really lovely inside of this car. And man, does it get attention going down the road. And let's do that. So we're going to hop in and go for a spin. Now, here's some things that I love about this car. Look at this whisper-thin steering wheel. It also is like zero effort to drive. You know, you could move it around with your pinky. So foot on the brake. The thing doesn't have park, which is fascinating to me. So it's neutral with the parking brake. I'm going to put that in. You can see the parking brake works pretty good since we're on an incline. Let's see if it starts. Oh, you know, that's not fair. It's always started so quickly and perfectly before. There it is. Fires right to life. So, listen to that thing run. It's like a Swiss watch. I mean, this has got to be the best running old Bentley on the planet. All right, let's run our windows down. They go down nice and proper. Whisper thin. You can see the lovely gauges all in great shape by Smiths, of course, and Lucas. I'm sure he's got his name on things in here somewhere. This is all glass, you know, it's just the beautiful wood, all the beautiful knurled finish on the knobs, and it's just a lovely, lovely car. You know, you feel very elegant in this thing. You know, like you're, you know, going off to your, you know, country estate to molest the chambermaids. All right. And away we go. So I'm going to try not to put the car up on the left side of the road and into the ditch or something. But I'm only going to try. All right. Away we go. So the feeling of driving this car is very much like, you know, unlike a Camry or, you know, a Maxima or even an E350. It is unique to the world. You've got this big long front end, you've got these giant raised fenders, you've got the Bentley logo, you've got people just jaw-dropping turning to look at you as you're driving it, wondering what the hell is going on. And, you know, everything feels pretty nice in the world, I have to say. Zero effort from the steering wheel, just very nice to turn. It's got good brakes. All of this very surprising to me. I just felt like this car was going to be a total basket case when I went for a drive in it. And instead, it drove really nice and continues to drive really nice. It starts when you turn the key. It stops when you hit the brakes. There's no weird sounds coming from the motor. It doesn't overheat. It's an absolutely fantastic driver. The way it goes down the road, and that's, you know, that's pretty special. That tells you the car has seen some maintenance over the years. Most of these things, you know, you could use them as planters in the front yard. You're just not going to go anywhere in them. This thing feels ready to take from Florida to Connecticut. Anyway, that big 4-speed transmission shifts very well. You got plenty of pep from that 6.2 liter V8. You've got virtually zero feel for any bumps or lesions in the road. You know, this was their first monocoque design. Yeah, stop your filthy minds. Okay, unibody. It's their first unibody car. They'd been thinking about building one for a while, and they finally did in '65, and this is it. And, you know, they did a terrific job of it. They kept building this car for a long time. It's iconic, the Rolls-Royce and the Bentley look on the front end of this thing. And it's just a joy to watch go down the road, to look at it in a parking lot. And this one's a damn joy to drive, which is just fantastic. So look, again, if you have an interest, you'd be surprised how cheap you can have this car. It's a 1966 Bentley T1 Sedan. I would call it, you know, a solid C+, B- car. It's got some cosmetic flaws. Interior and the wood is way above average. Rust is at an absolute minimum. And, you know, the mechanical condition of the car is fantastic. So if you have an interest, give us a call, 239-649-7300, on the web at mercedesexpert.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.